What's going on, guys? It's Tetrosphere, and I do have our final match to showcase from the GalaxyBusterTCG 1v1 case tournament for Justice Hunters. We have, once again, Dylan on the right, and I believe this is Khalil on the left, and I'm not sure what he's playing, but I know Dylan's on Yummy. Before we hop into the match, I do have the question of the day, and today's question is, I'm looking for actually some insight and opinions from you guys, because something you might not know about me is that another one of my hobbies, another part of my life, I am a electronic dance music DJ and producer, and the new archetype Killer Tune is obviously based around, electronic DJs and things of that nature. Is it mandatory that I pick that deck up? Let me know down below what you guys think. With that out of the way, we will go ahead and jump into the match. Let's go ahead and see who's going to get things started. We do have him rolling a 9. Like I said, I think it's Khalil, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm nervous to say. But Dylan does roll an 8. So Khalil, if that is you, know that I recognize you, but I'm not 100% sure. Going forward, I'm just going to refer to you as like player on the left or whatever deck you're playing, so on and so forth. Like I said, we do know that Dylan on the right here is playing Yummy. Players are just shuffling up still, or at least our friend on the left is doing so. Both players rocking the white sleeves for the main deck and the World Championship qualifier sleeves for the extra deck, it seems. Let's go ahead and get it started. We do have both players drawn 5 cards, not 6. And I see the double Fua cross out, didn't make out. It looks like it's Vanquish Soul. So we do have reinforcement of the army, which is going to be met with Ash Blossom. Fair enough, fair enough. That double Fua not feeling great at all. I almost wonder if, yep, you're just going to pass here. Hope to survive with the 2 Fualos. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Opening up with Obedience School, Chain Fua. He doesn't have the second Ash, but you have the second Fualos. You're about to draw 2 cards, my friend. So this +2 on the side of Dylan for Obedience School, not feeling great here, because now any further extension to this essentially turns that from a double Upstart Goblin into a double Pot of Greed, which we are going to go ahead and do that. We got Yummy Snatchy hitting the board, giving Khalil a total of 4 draws off these 2 Fualos. Placing Mignon, the field spell, which is going to go ahead and summon from grave. However, this is lethal right here, isn't it? If we don't have a way to stop this. Yep, there it is. So playing into the Fualos, definitely correct there. He didn't draw into like Nib or Holly Sue or any way to play on Dylan's turn. So putting up the damage with the 4 bodies and the field spell truly was all it took. Hey, sometimes you feel good about passing on 2 chummies, and sometimes you get yummied. So pretty quick game 1 there, but both players know. Oh, actually, Dylan probably knows what he's up against, because, like I said, this is the last round of Swiss, and you're between your matches, you're probably walking around getting some spectating going, seeing what people are playing. So you probably know what you're up against regardless. But even if you weren't doing that, seeing the reinforcement of the army, the only meta deck playing that right now is going to be Vanquish Soul, at least that I'm aware of. So that in and of itself probably telegraphed what was going on. I did see there can be only one in Khalil's side deck, or if it's not Khalil, player on the left side. I'm like 99.9% sure that's Khalil. But regardless, I did see Tikbu there, so that coming in could be positively devastating for Yummy. Yummy already feels pretty good about this matchup. You generally, unless you hand trap the Vanquish Soul deck, you're not making the Canine Azuna live or the Lupus, so you're not generally too worried about that part. The Vanquish Soul side with the removal can be pretty difficult to pass going second. So, if you're on board breakers, those kinds of things could come in, although not a lot of board breakers are very good against Vanquish Soul, but I do think you might be playing something like Metaltronus, Book of Eclipse, Droplet. Not necessarily all of those, but some combination of 1 or 2. And those might be able to help you pass the interruptions that Vanquish Soul is able to put up, especially now that we can expect that we're not going to be bricking on any Mulcharmies. I do see the Holly Sue right there, so that is definitely a hot start. We have Xiaolong, and I think I saw Stake Your Soul. Rhoda once again drawn the one of twice and met with Ash Blossom again. So far looking very, very similar to game one, but we do all know that this is not going to be the end of turn one. We have Stake Your Soul revealing Xiaolong. And we're going to go ahead and special summon Rosin, which is going to try to add, and that's going to be met with Purge. Trying to keep us off of Holly Sue, however, as we know that that's already in the hand. What we do have K9 Joe Cool, and we're thinking about what we want to reveal here, because we have Xiaolong or Holly Sue. We could summon either. If we reveal and summon the Xiaolong, let's see. We could still go Rock from Rosin, put Rosin back, Holly Sue can then reveal Rosin. But at that point, we only have a Fire. But we do get some searches off the K9 side of our engine, of course. So here comes, excuse me, the Dark Monster in the form of Lantern. We're going to go ahead and Xyz into a Ripper. Ripper summon is fine. We're going to, oh, maybe we're thinking an open game. Oh, we're just changing our detach. So we're going to go ahead and detach the Joe Cool to add a K9 card. And then because a monster effect was activated on Dylan's side, we can set the quick play as well. A very, very positive trade there for Khalil. Adding, looked like Case. Case then can then, of course, add whatever. We're going to go ahead and Rock effect to put the Rosin back. So now we have a Fire. Holly Sue was going to reveal the Rosin to summon itself, and now I believe we have a Fire and a Dark. Yep, that's going to allow us to summon from deck. Here comes Mad Love. Mad Love is going to grab the field spell. Of course, field spell now targeting Mad Love, so we can go ahead and get another search going. And we're going to add the Caesar Valius, which I do believe is an Earth. So at this point, we do now have all three attributes in hand. Lantern is going to target the Joe Cool in Grave. Both hit the board. To go into a Nash Knight, a very nice interruption. We're just going to... Oh, we're going to go ahead and rank up right here. So we are going right into the Umbral. That's pretty nice, actually. I think that's more correct than the removal from the Nash Knight, because obviously they're definitely going to play into the Umbral, being yummy. All their monster effects activate on field. So now we go Case. Likely going to grab Azuna here. I don't see what else you would grab, because then, of course, Azuna can summon herself because Ash was activated from hand this turn, which can then pitch Lupus. And now we only have Earth Fire reveals, if I'm not mistaken. So we are probably trying to think about more ways to get into our other attributes. Could Caesar Valley... Okay, but looks like we're going to end phase to put the trap down. On Dylan's turn, we can always go Caesar Valius to put the Mad Love back in hand. And now we have... And then at that point, we would have Earth, Fire, and Dark in hand. But yeah, this is getting pretty crazy here on the side of Vanquish Soul, because obviously we know we have the rank up spell, we have the Ripper negate, we have Obedient Schooled again from Dylan though. Interesting that you would open up with that. Obviously we only have 4 cards in hand. We used 2 hand traps, which makes me wonder if maybe we're not on a heavy breaker build at all, even from the side. Opening Obedient Schooled is interesting because obviously, generally speaking, how do I word this? When you're playing into a board with Yummy, usually you want to break boards first and then like start committing to some plays. Although Obedient Schooled obviously doesn't use your normal summon, but it is a decent commitment. It beast locks you, so your ceiling's a little bit lower. We do have another Purge though to chain to that Rosin, and this one will actually destroy the Rosin, because we do, of course, have that other Purge in the graveyard. So now we just have 2 Earths to reveal, which is not great for the Holly Sue situation. That being said, though, we still have the Valius to bounce the Mad Love back, which would give us Earth Dark. which that may be the attributes for the, excuse me, the Holly Sue take effect. Let me just verify that real quick. Yeah, Earth and Dark is the attributes you need to take. So we're going to go ahead and link one into Snatchy, and then, of course, this is going to be met with the Umbral. So it's going to negate it. I don't think it destroys it, but it also hand rips and deals 4,000 damage, so yeesh. What are our other interactions? The Ripper negate, which likely isn't going to do anything in this game state. Out comes Cupsy Yummy Way, which I do believe is trying to search 2, discard 1. Let's see. So like I said, we have the Ripper negate. Umbral already used its negate. We have the Vanquish Soul Trap. We have the rank up into the Werewolf, though, which could be very intimidating. We do activate Caesar Valius in response to the Cupsy search. Cupsy then tags out, reviving a Cupsy and a Cookie. It's going to add a Cupsy and discard a Lollipo. So here, I do believe we're going to get our triggers with the bonus effects. So Cupsy can either search or draw one, and Cookie, I believe, is going to pop. It is a targeted pop, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder what the target was. I gotta feel like... I don't know that you would target Ripper, because it doesn't really threaten you unless you've got something up your sleeve. But I'm thinking Ripper was the target because it forced the rank up, which is going to pop set bluff there of Triple Tactics Talent. Thinking on what to add here off of Cookie. Surprise is the conventional decision. However, given the game state, you might be thinking something else. You might even be thinking the draw one just to try to get into something to help you push through. Although without access to the field spell, I don't know that you're getting over the Caesar Valius. I don't know that you can get over 3k, especially being beast locked. So you may search the field spell here since you weren't able to get it off the link 1. I do wonder what we're cooking here. Let's see. Okay, so we do grab the field spell. So we are thinking about trying to just do some work in battle phase here. We're going to go ahead and link 1 with the Cupsy special itself. Place the field spell. So now everything is plus 2,000. So like I said, now we're quite large. The problem is, what are we still dealing with? We're still dealing with the Vanquish Soul Trap, which is just going to blow everything up. And we're dealing with the Holly Sue take. We do have the Werewolf hand rip as well in response to any effect activation. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and synchro into Lollipop Yummy Way, which it looks like that's the one that summons 2 from grave. All right, 2 Snatchies hit the board. We go field spell. So, I mean, we're now at plus 3k off the field spell. I just... Oh, and then, of course, we shuffle back the Rosin with the effect of Lollipo Yummy. It does not get its bonus because it was summoned off the field spell, not a synchro monster. But regardless... Oh, it looks like Dylan has nothing in hand, so that Werewolf Rip is actually not even online. Am I tripping? Does the trap not blow everything up on 2 reveals? Is it 3 to blow everything up? I might be tripping. I might have been yapping this whole time about the... Okay, so it is 3 attributes to blow everything up. Okay. So denying that rosin search was actually massive. We do Holly Sue take in battle phase just to try to get some of the damage off the board here. But yeah, I didn't realize that about the trap. So this game is actually a lot more winnable than I had thought. So we are going to go ahead and just kind of attack over everything, try to get some damage in. It is worth pointing out that the Holly Sue take has not reduced the attack gain because it does give boost based on light beasts on the whole field, not just ones you control. Yeah, unfortunately the calculator is just off camera for me, so I'm not 100% sure how much damage we're doing, and I don't really feel like running the numbers myself. But there's definitely a lot of damage on the board. Alright, so Lollipop is going to swing into Snatchy, put it back in Dylan's grave. This was excellently maneuvered by Dylan, by the way. I think we knew exactly what we needed to keep him off of, and, you know, denying that rosin search. We knew that the trap was our lose condition, so keeping them off attributes was obviously massive. Looks like our players are number crunching here, just trying to figure out what's good as far as life points, I'm sure. And what effects were used, what weren't, if I had to hazard a guess. But it looks like we're in our extra deck for Dylan, so probably we've left the battle phase and have moved on to main phase 2. If I'm not mistaken, Snatchy can only use its effect to synchro summon in your opponent's battle phase? Or is it your own? I know it's both main phases, obviously. Yeah, it's just the opponent's battle phase, so this makes me think that we are, in fact, in our main phase 2. We are choosing to put the Synchro back in grave, link off for another Snatchy, and then we're going to go ahead and Synchro into... Is that Cookie? Which I believe is the... No, that's Cupsy. That's the search. Okay, so I think we just wanted to have a name on the field to have a tag out before going into a Snatchy Synchro summon. Alright, so we pass turn back, and we do draw for turn. Reading over Snatchy real quick just to see when its effects are online. Oh, we drew Teekboo. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go start target the Holly Sue to try to get some plays going here, add something to hand. We're going to chain the Cupsy Yummy Way to tag out into 2 of the names from grave, and then add a rosin. Surely Dylan is going to have some triggers here. Of course, we have the Cupsy to either draw 1 or search. Looks like we're going draw 1 because we're offering cut. Which makes sense because it's not like adding surprise really does much for us here. Okay, so now we do have the triple reveal off of Snow Devil. Someone scooped. If I had to guess, I'd say it was probably Dylan, given the board wipe coming from the Snow Devil, and he's only on 4,000 life. Surely Vanquish would have had no way to put no problem putting game up there. So I think we're just going to go ahead and go game 3 was probably the call there, which I think makes a lot of sense. Able to play around the trap on your own turn. However, once we were able to get playing on the side of Vanquish Soul, it was no problem to just get that trap active as a board breaker. And then just go ahead and push for game. Obviously, we knew about the Rosin. We had already gone through 2 Ash and 2 Purge. So having a way to stop the Rosin Search was not likely. Having a way to stop the Halisu special summon, not likely. We had no back row. We didn't have any way, even if you tag out into something in response to the trap, it's just going to get blown up on resolution because it's just a board wipe. It's not a targeted destruction. So the tagging out does not really do much for you there. So yeah, I think that in that game state, you just go ahead and you just scoop it up if you don't have a way in hand to stop the plays from happening. Obviously, if you had the hand traps that could keep you alive, then maybe you stay in it. But despite the valiant effort, just simply being unable to close it out in 1 turn, giving Vanquish Soul the ability to get its engine back online, it was just not quite enough. But definitely a valiant effort, without a doubt. That was a really awesome push into that board, especially given the strength the board actually had. When you think about the interactions that the Vanquish Soul Canine deck is able to put up with the Umbral Hand Rip and negate and 4,000 damage, plus the Ripper negate, plus the Halisu take, plus the Rosin pop, plus you know what I'm saying? There's just so many layers of interaction. You have stuff coming down from the hand still, really, really difficult to push into that board, especially with a deck like Yummy that is so fragile going into boards to begin with, even mediocre boards. Yeah. But that's all in the past now. We do have game 3 to go ahead and get into. Players are siding, shuffling up. This will be the first game of the match where Dylan will have the opportunity to go first, which in game 3, of course, is absolutely massive, especially for Yummy. Depending on the hand, we may have no problem pushing into the board. We may have a world of hurt pushing into the board. Yummy is one of those decks, man, where you just never know exactly how layered their interactions are going to be. And Vanquish Soul is one of those decks that's, it's really strong, but sometimes it just clogs. Did we just pass over to... We did. We didn't even play a card. We just passed. What? What's going on? This is not bueno. We're going to go ahead and normal summon Dr. Madlove, which is going to add a Vanquish. It's not even, because we already have the field spell. Field spell target Madlove. Ash Blossom. Okay, so obviously... What do we do here? Because in the hand, I thought I saw a stake, but I don't know what the other monster was. So we're just going to go ahead and go into Rock of the Vanquisher, which is going to try to either add back or summon. Looks like Dylan's considering interacting from the hand. It could be something like an Imperm. Yep, absolutely. Imperm on the rock. Keeps Madlove out of the hand. And we just pass it over. Okay, so we do have a draw from Dylan. He's only looking at a 0 attack monster. Could potentially still get away with it here. I saw Fuelos in the hand from Vanquish Soul, but obviously that is not. We just pass it back again. We do give another turn. This is not looking good for our friend Dylan, but obviously you got these hand traps to try to keep you alive. Is it going to be enough? We do summon the Rosin, try to search, Imperm target Rosin, start target Rosin, so we're still able to plus. We just kept us off of the Rosin Search, but the field spell's still online. Truly, that was a very poor trade for Dylan. But at the same token, what are you going to do? My, oh my, that's no good. We have Joel Lockbird. So that probably keeps us alive. We do go Joe Cool, Summon Itself, and Holly Sue. I think the only card in hand is another Mad Love. So we don't have any of the Holly Sue interactions online. So it looks like we are just going to use it for a rank 5 play, going to the Ripper, which at this point can't, but we have the quick play anyway, so that's what the spell was. It was not Stake. So we're going to go ahead and go into the Werewolf. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Dylan definitely just scoops it up there. You know, he checked the next couple cards on the top of his deck, and he just was not going to get into a play there, it seemed like. So, very unfortunate. Very quick game 3. Very quick game 1. Game 2 was definitely where the meat and potatoes of this match was. But I do got to say, at least it was an exciting game 2. It was very fun to watch that one. Very fun to commentate that one. F in the chat for Dylan's hand, game 3. Well, guys, it's been an awesome series. This case tournament was great. I had a blast both playing in it and commentating these videos, other than the one where I got absolutely handled. I really appreciate you guys watching the content, checking it out. Shout out to the players for both playing in the event and allowing me to record and commentate their matches. Shout out to GalaxyBusterTCG for hosting these events, allowing me to record, commentate. Definitely a great scene there, and the competitive environment there is very productive, and there's some fantastic talent that comes through that store. I'm really excited to flesh this format out, and we do have a 3v3 case tournament coming up here this weekend, so we'll have even more videos to watch here soon. I will catch you guys then. Peace.